Underground radio.
What does it mean to be underground? It means you gotta be free to be underground. Yo, you got your own key when you're underground. If you're listening to me, yo, you underground.
Well, good evening, everyone. Welcome to season 11, Connected with Cari, here on Jess TV, Jess FM, the Underground Radio C music page, Facebook page, YouTube. We're trying to spread it all out so everyone gets a chance to be able to watch these videos live, because sometimes people don't have Facebook or they don't have, like I've got this going live on my LinkedIn page as well. So it just kind of depends where you are. But if you're watching through my YouTube, or if you come across it, please subscribe, like, do all the things, because I'm trying to grow it. Even though I've been running this platform for 5.5 years, my YouTube is still fairly new, trying to grow it, trying to go in there and do the things. So if you come across it, by all means, subscribe. And then also, if you can do me a favor, and any of my guests that come on, if you can, by all means, make sure that they get, a little like and subscribe on their stuff too, because this evening I have with me a very, very cool guest who was on I'm just going to play with my sound here. I think my sound isn't as loud as it should be. My guest was on about 5 years ago, and same with last week. I had another guest on who was, again, on 5 years ago. And I was just kind of, going through Facebook, or sometimes they'll email me some projects and what's going on. And I find at that point, when there's a really cool follow-up, that I want to be able to have them back on and go, hey, this is what they've been doing since 5 years ago when I last had them on the show, which is pretty cool because a lot of them have been super busy. My guest from last week, AW Tony Scott, when we first chatted, he did a short film, which is now going into a feature film, and that's going to be released in probably a few months. So you can see there's a lot of, progression on what they're doing, really interesting, cool things that are happening. So if you've actually been on my show before, I would love to have you back and talk about the projects that you've been doing over the years, because I think it's really cool to see, the very first interviews and then go into like, what are we doing now? So with this interview, if you probably been seeing my posts up, you will know that I have Tora WOLOSHIN coming on. It was super cool, super awesome. Not only was she like on the X Factor years ago, we'll talk a little bit about that, not too much, but a little bit, dabble into that. She's also an actress, singer, songwriter, and that's the main reason why she's on tonight. We're going to talk about her new project, which is also a Christmas song, little movie thing. We'll get into that because she'll explain it all, because I know a little, and I do a little research because I want to ask the questions and get excited just as much as my audience. And then the coolest thing was that if people have been on years ago, I've been digging up like our archived videos, our interviews. So I'm going to play a little tidbit of that, but a little bit later on. So without further ado, we're going to welcome in Tora. She's going to give her full, complete little bio or her introduction, however she would like to introduce herself, because as we know, we kind of recreate ourselves over the years. So I like to have my guests formally introduce themselves so they can kind of introduce and explain who they are now. Because over 5 years, a lot has changed. So without further ado, we welcome in Tora to the show. We're going to go back to this. Up close, right in our faces. How are you?
Good. How are you? Thank you for having me.
Having you back. Oh my goodness. It's, really a pleasure. Like I said before when we were doing our quick little sound check, it's so nice to have you back on and be able to talk to you and see what you're doing. And again, it was just like, oh, this little email in my inbox. And it was like, oh, she did a little project. And I was like, that's cool. It's really cool to see when it's like your first projects coming out, and it's exciting. So without further ado, I'm going to let you take over the stage. I'm going to put you solo screen, and you can do a formal introduction of yourself and a little bit about maybe how you got into the industry. We'll kind of start there. All right. All right, you take it away.
Hi, my name is Tora WOLOSHIN. I am a multifaceted artist. I do music, singing, songwriting, acting, modeling, dancing, and over the 5 years, I have built a film and photography production company called Road Trip Sideways 8. And now that's kind of my everyday thing is filmmaking and photography on the side of the music. So, and how I got into the industry, I was very young. My mom kind of noticed that I would sing along to things before I could talk. And so she kind of pushed that, she kind of opened that door and helped me to pursue my love for the art.
So you weren't like coerced into it. She was like, okay, let's go.
No, I always knew that music at least was something that I always wanted to do. And she just kind of created the ability for that to happen.
Yeah, that's super cool. I'm going to just quickly play your little X Factor tidbit.
Mm-hmm.
And then I want to ask you, how you kind of felt through those moments and what, was it your mom that led you there or did you see it on TV? Let's go into that. But first, I'm just going to play that little tidbit.
Absolutely love you, Tora.
You know who you are. You're a performer.
We are all so lucky to have you in the room today.
And you want to be a professional singer.
Yeah.
Crazy. Take us through that very moment of, like I said, were you interested? Was it your mom that got you involved? What was the initial?
I was definitely interested. I had already kind of been doing singing competitions locally and stuff like that. And my mom, I guess she came across something. I don't really know what it was, but she saw something. It might have been an ad or something like that. But that X Factor was coming to America and you could submit video auditions. And she just, I guess, not really thinking about it, just threw a video out there and just made a account and submitted for me. And then 6 months later, I was contacted by one of their producers.
Crazy. What did you feel like? What was do you remember it so well? Or was it just like, oh, okay, yeah, we'll just go? Or
no, I was definitely in shock. And it was when they reached out to me, they reached out to me, and instead of her, I guess she must have put my email down.
Okay.
And it was a really, I just remember it being like one sentence. It was like, this is somebody such and such, I don't remember who it was, a producer of X Factor. We're interested in having you on the show. Please contact me. And it was a phone number to call. And I was like, is this a scam? Like, it was so weird. The grammar and everything was off. Like there was no punctuation. I was like, what is this? So my mom was like, oh yeah, that was a long time ago. I sent them a video. I guess they finally viewed it. So I called and ended up setting everything up. They said that if I could make it to Seattle, that I could skip everything and just go audition on stage in front of the judges. So
Wow.
Ended up just kind of packing up and driving to Seattle from Arizona.
Crazy. Absolutely crazy. Would you say that launched your career at all? Or would you just say that was just kind of, just a little dabble in it?
I would say that it gave me a lot of really great exposure. I think, I don't know if it quite launched me, rather than gave me great exposure, but it kind of like threw me to the wolves, and it was like, good luck.
Like, here, get off the stage and get out there and good luck.
And since I didn't, win or make it to the top live performances or whatever, they don't care about you once you're gone. You know what I mean? Once you're off the show, they're concentrated on what's on the show.
Yeah.
But it did give me enough exposure to get me recognized by some major people, and the opportunity I got after X Factor, I signed a indie contract and moved to Miami, and that launched my career.
Okay. So kind of help you to get into the door a little bit more and then be able to go, okay, here's a little bit more and more and more. I think that's kind of like one of those signs from the universe going, okay, you're on the right path. Here's another door. Here's another door. Here's another door. And then it kind of keeps going and going from that, because now you said you are producing and you have a film. So your production, like your own film, I don't know, TV, is it going to be TV or just film? Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, the Christmas project, is going to be a feature film that's created. It's going to be kind of from the Christmas album. So I'll be working for a full Christmas album. And each one of those videos and each song in the album kind of tells a story and takes you through a journey of grief, losing yourself, and then rebuilding.
Okay.
The reason I chose to do a holiday song was because I see all of that happening and all the family stuff and changes in your family, you know what I mean? It all kind of gathers together around the holidays. So you kind of are faced with whether it's loss, whether it's, a gaining of a family member, whether, whatever it happens to be, you're kind of faced with all that around the holidays, the end of the year. And at the same time, it's a huge time for gathering of people that might not gather very often together. And so I thought it was important to kind of use the holidays as a platform for this idea.
Yeah, absolutely. I think one of those things that's really important, like you said, is, it doesn't happen just during the holidays. It happens kind of all year round, but because the holidays coming up, it kind of sends more of a bigger message saying, hey, I think a lot of people do deal with, mental health during the holidays. And then you're like, almost have to hide it when you're around family and kind of like, okay, be okay, everything's okay. But then everyone knows that there's always like, I have to say, okay, so you go to like a Christmas dinner and there's always like the crazy uncle or the crazy whoever. And then there's like the fighting siblings. And then there's like the aunt and uncle that they don't get along or whatever. So there's always like the stereotypical people and whatever. So, and holiday movies always do this, right? You watch like Grisel's Christmas, or you watch like Home Alone or whatever. So you have like the dysfunctional families always going on. So when it's, portrayed in a way that it's actually, even though it's funny, but at the same time it's true. So these are things that we're dealing with, and how do we deal with them every single day? So the message getting out, what do you think the bigger message is? Just kind of like, we're all different, or is there a way we can deal with things? What was the biggest message you wanted to send with it?
I think the biggest message is that, we all lose people and we all go through changes in our lives. And hopefully that this album or this movie is a way that can help people go through that grief and realize that, it's normal and everybody goes through it eventually at some time in their lives. And to use my message as a way to rebuild and a way to form their grief and successfully go through it. And, because some people just hang on to it and they sit there in it for their whole life.
Yeah.
So, it's a way to get through that.
Right. So along with these crazy Christmases, like you said, some people now have to go into that situation with losing a loved one. that's been part of the family or, whoever it may be. And that's tough to be able to, I'm pretty sure sometimes people don't even want to go and attend and be around other people because they're trying to deal with the grief and trying to deal with the loss, going, well, I'll try and go and be my best self and put up a front. But hopefully, people understand that it's difficult, or everybody might have lost that same family member, right? You may be a stranger going in like a work function and you've lost somebody and it reminds you of that whole situation, or you can be going to a family function and it's somebody that you lost in the family. So everyone has to go through that. And that would be really tough because then it's sort of like, I don't know, it may be a twofold process if it's a family member and you're all gathering for Christmas, because you can maybe be able to take it and go, hey, what are your memories of this person? And be able to share it and talk about it. Or it could be the other side where no one wants to talk about it. And it can become very depressing and very hard to deal with, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So should we play the video, or do you want to talk a little bit more about how the project, how did you, because the link that you sent me was an animated Christmas kind of video. So how did you get into making it into like an animated video?
Well, it's not the official music video. That's what I'm working on through this holiday time right now. Together right now, just the video for the one song to kick everything off. But I decided to do this animated kind of thing. As you can see, there's a lot of characters that show up that are kind of from the past, and most of those characters I grew up with. So it's a little personal, things that are familiar to me from my childhood when I remember Christmas and the holidays being home. So the best memories of the holidays are, during my childhood. And so bringing those memories back, those memories of those characters and those things I used to watch as a kid, and putting them in a position where they are kind of portraying what my song is saying. It's a little bit chaotic, but at the same time we're still happy for the holidays, and we're still engaging in the spirit, you know what I mean? So, and the video kind of starts out with, everyone's happily decorating the tree, but then at the end it becomes a little chaotic and things get a little out of control. But at the same time, at the very, very end, everyone comes together and ends up being a successful time decorating and spending the time with your loved ones, your family, or whoever it is that you're spending time with.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's kind of and it was like kind of just a fun way to express the meaning of the song for an 8.
So cool. Okay, so I'm going to play the video and then everyone can kind of watch it, and then we'll go through, we'll kind of talk a little bit about your favorite parts of it. And we'll also talk about, maybe the harder parts of the film production itself, and then kind of go from there. All right, so let's get it up here because this is really cute. And as you guys know, I did put it up for promo, so you guys caught a little bit of it, but I'm going to play the whole video for you guys. Make sure we are sharing. Yes, we are. Okay, perfect. Rudolph, so cute.
Snow falls like glitter, paint in the street. The glow of the lights, a syncopated beat. It smells like cinnamon, tastes bittersweet. It's magic, I'm laughing. It's sugar from my feet. I hear it now, and bells in the air are ringing everywhere. Merry holidays, let the rhythm play underneath the say. Mistletoe hangs, but I don't need a kiss. Won't feel the moment, won't let it be. Stockings on fire, all the irony's bliss. The season's a rebel, it's flipping the script. I feel it now. It's wild, like a flaming comet turning. Merry holidays, let the rhythm play. Underneath the stars, we'll dance away. Merry holidays, nothing in my way. Sing it loud, don't care what they say.
Oh my goodness. There we go. Okay, I have to stop playing it on my side. Otherwise, music in my ears. That's so cute. I didn't get to watch the whole thing because I was waiting to play it on the show here tonight. So take us through the good and the bads of the video. Like, what was your favorite part to kind of go, yeah, I love this part?
I love the Rudolphs. I love him popping in and out of the chimneys. I always loved the Grinch and those movies. I always loved Jim Carrey when he played him and stuff. So I love the Grinch setting off the Christmas tree and it's firecrackers or whatever. So yeah.
Yeah. And you're like, oh, and there's the disaster right there's it's gone, right? Have we had a Christmas disaster? Everyone's probably had a Christmas disaster, I'm sure. Right? If you guys are watching, comment your Christmas disaster because I want to. Did someone eat all of Santa's cookies or someone light the Christmas tree on fire? Who knows, right? Okay, what was probably the hardest part of like you didn't have an idea for it, or it was like, well, this part's okay, or was there any moment like that with this?
Yeah, I struggled with whether or not I wanted to do this version of the video because it's AI. And so being an artist and being, a filmmaker, I am torn between the evolution of technology and taking away my artistry a little bit. So, however, I don't have the ability to animate. I do have a real animated music video from the past that's called Anaerobic. It's a while ago I released it. It's on my YouTube. But that was a partnership I did with an actual animator. So,
Okay.
I don't have the knowledge to go in and create my own cartoon, although I would love to. I have prioritized learning about other things like camera operation and stuff like that. So I decided to just do it because I had been working with AI. I had started to introduce it into my video work, especially to do, cartoony stuff and stuff like that. I still have a little mixed emotions about it. I still have mixed emotions about the video I created, but
Yeah.
the important part and what I see through as the artist is, does it portray my message? That's the important part. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Who cares if, it's done on a phone or something, you know what I mean? But the message was portrayed and, the the feelings that you get when you watch it and stuff, that's really what I was looking for.
Yeah, absolutely. And it was very nostalgic, of course. Kind of brings you back to like watching cartoons Saturday morning, and you're like, oh, I remember these guys and these guys. And, and I wasn't a big Chucky lover growing up, but, the mischief with that. So it's like, okay, that's cute. It's kind of mixed in. And it was like evil and good kind of all intertwined. So I could kind of see the message on that side. But yeah, I've had someone on the show before talking about AI. And I think the real message that we are trying to get across is that using AI in a positive way, and how we can use it to definitely get our messages across and be able to go, okay, well, like you said, it is one of those things where, if we don't use it, is it going to hinder us? Should we be using it? How do we use it? How do we use it properly? How do we use it to get our messages across and be okay with that? Because as an aspiring filmmaker, and those filmmakers that I do know that have, they're in the industry pretty deep, there were, again, the mixed signals of it. Like, what do we do? Are we okay with this? But I think, as you said, you can get that message across and be okay, like, this is what I want to portray, and it's able to do that. Then I think it's probably, pretty good, as long as you can go, hey, because there's always the copyright issue too of things, right? So how do you go about the copyright stuff with going, hey, like, this is my song, this is the message I want to get across? Someone could take that and they can remix it and do other things with it, right? So how are we preventing that side?
I mean, I own full rights of the song. So if anyone uses any part of the song, whether it's AI or not,
You're after them.
Or, you know what I'm saying? They have to license the song. Doesn't matter how you do it, but you have to license it. And I mean, sometimes it's a matter of me catching somebody and having to, submit a claim against it. But I haven't had that issue quite yet. So
That's good.
I'm prepared.
Right? Like, I'm in there scrolling. Well, at least I think for my little reels and stuff that I showed, it was so small. I don't think it would even do a copyright or do anything and go, hey, Tora is after your ass.
Oh, well, when people use it like on social media and stuff like that, it scans it and it sends I get paid. It's not any kind of like issue between me and the person. It's like, you can use my stuff because through all these platforms, the one great thing about them is that they're able to be that middleman, kind of like, okay, this is, how do I even describe it? The mechanicals, they scan the song and then it just goes straight to the distributor, the collector of the royalties. So
there you go. See, kids, you learned something new today. Because I do every time because like I said, I'm now doing videos with my promo and stuff, and I'm finding, it takes a little bit longer for it to process when it uploads, and it's saying, checking for copyright and giving a minute. And I'm like, I know it's okay because I use the song from the social media, like whether it's Instagram or Facebook, and I'm like, it's on there. Like, I know you're giving me permission. So then it goes directly to takes the royalties and gives it to you guys, which is good because then you guys get paid, and it's not much though, but over time, hopefully you make a couple dollars.
Yeah.
Because I heard also Spotify hasn't been the greatest for giving, and we won't go into that too much.
Yeah, they're not good. They kind of, they created this platform that they kind of, if you don't do it, you're gonna be held back. You know what I mean? Because so many people use Spotify. So it's like, as an artist, I hate them. I don't want to use them, but I have to.
Right. I too have been, getting information from other people who do content creation and do like YouTube stuff. This is, radio. So it's not necessarily going to Spotify, but I can upload my stuff and put it on Spotify. But I've heard so much mixed reviews on, again, like someone can take it, remix it, do the AI stuff, or they can steal your voice and do all that. And you're just like, you're not even going to see the money out of it through Spotify and stuff. So I was like, I don't know. I don't know if I want to stick anything on Spotify at all. So I'm like, everyone go to YouTube. Go over there. Then you can watch me. It's not just my voice. You can actually go and watch, which is more fun, right? To do that. So let's talk about, because you said the Merry Holidays is just the one track, and it's on an album, or just the few tracks were released? Tell us about that. It will be. Okay. Tell us a little bit about the whole project.
Well, the album is kind of a walkthrough, kind of like a Ebenezer Scrooge meets Nightmare Before Christmas. It's kind of a walkthrough my grief, and it takes me to everybody that I've lost, that I haven't, that I've kind of had a trouble getting over. So by the end of this movie, the end of the album, it's kind of like I heal and I'm able to rebuild.
And have you been on your own personal healing journey? Do you find this to be a healing process while doing this?
I do, most definitely.
Yeah. And you're able to get some emotions across and be able to share it through your music. It's a very vulnerable state.
Yeah.
To be able to take it through. So I commend you being able to take it from inside and being able to put it out on the outside, because a lot of people will not do that at all, especially when, the holidays are coming up and you're like, I don't want to share, but if I don't, it won't get relayed. So how many songs are in total for this project? Oh, I think we got someone frozen here. We'll see. We'll see if she gets unfrozen. Oh, we'll see if she comes back. It was such a vulnerable moment. She left. Oh. We'll see if she comes back on. But her Merry Holidays song is on YouTube. So make sure you guys go and check it out 100%. And go and like and subscribe her channel, Tora WOLOSHIN there. We'll see if we can get her back. We will see if she can come back. Sometimes we'll figure it out. Okay, well, while we're waiting to see if she can get back in, what I'm going to do is I'm going to play our interview from 5 years ago. I'm going to play a little bit of that to see if we can get her back in. If she doesn't come back, if she's unable to, I will let you guys know. But meanwhile, just stand by.
I'll just play her music and then go dance in your dance class. So I was doing that, and then when I was 5, I went into this program for about 10 years, doing theater and singing and dancing and doing plays and all kinds of cool stuff.
Yeah. Was it like a school, or was it just like a community kind of type of program?
Yeah, it was just like a nonprofit organization that, kids could, they pay like a monthly dues, and they could do dance classes and musical theater. And it was kind of like a company also. So we did showcases twice a year, and then we did other performances all throughout the year. And we performed at like nursing homes and state fairs and malls and like all these types of situations. So
the usual kind of growing up. Your mom's like, "Oh, let's drag you out. Let's go sing Christmas carols." Right. Okay. We have to. No, I think it's good. Like, you know, that parents can do that. They start you off really young and get you involved in these things, because not only just for, like, you know, getting used to performing, but also, you know, just like a social thing too, because when you're really little, you know, sometimes kids get so scared just talking to people. So it's really nice that she was able to, you know, get you going right away and be like, okay, let's go here, let's go there, and, you know, get used to kind of like the stage performing and things like that. So after that, what was like kind of like the next step?
Well, after that, by that time, I was, you know, in school, you know, middle school and high school, and both of my middle school and high school were performing arts schools. So I did dance, I did lab musical theater, I did drama, I did, you know, singing, and I sang with the bands and all of that. So I went there, and then I started actually singing the national anthem for all of the like sporting events locally. I was doing hockey and baseball, basketball, football, and then I think I probably was about, I want to say 16 or 17, and no, 16, definitely 16. I started it was my first band, and my a rock band. And, and then I had 3 rock bands by the time I was 18. And then when I was 18, I signed my first solo record deal.
Nice. So that's crazy, 3 rock bands. It's like usually you hear 1 rock band, you're like, no, just 3.
Right.
Whatever. If we're not busy, I'm overly busy, and I just get into everything, right?
Yeah.
So
one of them is actually still on Spotify. It's called Less Than Famous.
Oh yeah,
So
awesome.
If you look that up, you can hear what I sound like singing to alternative rock music.
Nice. I know. I was reading while I was like watching your EPK, and you're like that you don't just stick to one genre, that you do like a whole bunch of different genres. So I mean, being a rock band doesn't surprise me, but it might surprise other people that haven't really heard you before. So because I did listen to your 2021, your few releases that were there, and they were kind of like more like a sonnets, kind of, you know, nice, slow and gentle. And I was like, okay, let's see what else she's got. So yeah, it's really cool that you can have a wide variety of things. I want to jump into the whole X Factor thing, because a lot of artists do watch this show, and I'm very like connected to a lot of artists, and kind of wanted to find out, like, how did you find out about it? How did you get into it? And then most importantly, what are the things that you kind of learned from it? Because, you know, you said you really learned a lot from it, and it was maybe a struggle in some aspects.
Well, how I found out about it, that's a funny story, actually. Because my mom, I guess, she's always, you know, looking for opportunities and signing me up for stuff and sending me things and all this. And so I guess she had seen this online audition, submit a video for X Factor, and X Factor was coming to the U.S. It was the very first year they were in the U.S., so it was like a big deal. And so I guess she sent a video of me singing. And about 6 months after she sent that, I didn't know she sent it until I got this email, and I confronted her, like, is this spam? I thought it was like a scam or some kind of craziness. And I got this email, and it was super vague, which is why I thought it was a scam or something, because it was like, we received your audition video for X Factor. Please contact us. And then it gave like a phone number and a name. And I was like, that's weird. So I sent it to her, and she's like, oh yeah, I submitted your video like 6 months ago. I'm like, wow. So that's how it started. And then they when I reached out to them, they had responded and said they wanted me to, if I could make it to Seattle, Washington, that they wanted me to just go right on stage and audition in front of the judges. No lines, no waiting, nothing. Just go right on stage. And so I was
where were you?
Well, I'll make it.
Yeah. Well, where were you living at the time?
I was in Tucson, Arizona, and I was actually doing this other competition that was local in Arizona that was called Lucky Break. And it was just this local singing competition. You win a bunch of money at the end of it. And so I was in the middle of that competition. And what was crazy is the finals night of that competition, I ended up winning. But before we started, we were supposed to leave that night to drive up to Seattle to do X Factor, the night of the finals of this other competition. So I'm sitting here, it's me against this one guy, like it's us left in this competition, this finals night. And I'm like I either way, whether I win or not, I'm leaving to Seattle to audition in front of Simon Cowell in 2 days.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so I did the performance, and what a way to start the X Factor trip is I won that show. So it was just this, series of events that set the whole thing off really nicely. And through the competition, I did learn a lot about myself as an artist. It was hard. It was strenuous, especially through boot camp. There was a series of rounds. There was probably like 7 or 8 different auditions within boot camp. It was about a week and a half long. And it was just a process of, they were just eliminating everybody. We went there with, I think it was 200 people, and we went from 200 people to 36 people. So during that competition, there were times when...
Oh my gosh, sorry, I'm having Wi-Fi issues. There's like a going on. It's been raining constantly out here for like 3 days now.
Oh my goodness, it's okay. I was like, I emailed you going, do you have Wi-Fi? Do we need to wrap up and kind of see? It's like, did I scare her off? I was like mean about her being vulnerable, and I was trying to be like, this is a good thing as an artist to be vulnerable. Like, now she's even more vulnerable. See what a jerk I am. Oh my goodness. So you're in LA now, right?
Yeah, well, I stay in Banning, but I'm working out of LA and surrounding areas.
I saw that it was raining, and I was like, oh, okay, yeah, okay. And you guys don't get like lots and lots of rain down there. You just kind of, it's like your winter is rain. So
right.
Yeah. Okay, well, we'll kind of, let's try and go like 10 more minutes, and then we can kind of wrap up so that you're not worried about the Wi-Fi issues and stuff. So it's not thundering or anything, it's just rain.
Yeah, just caught like constant rain.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I love it. We really definitely need it.
Yeah. It doesn't help with the mood though. Like, I know you can go either way. You can be like depressed with the rain, or you can cuddle up on the couch and with a loved one and watch movies and be like, oh, this is so like romantic and awesome. So take it as it is, right? Have you, so with your movie production now, okay, so you did the animation. We talked about the AI and how it's all like, yay or nay. And then we went through the album a little bit, talking about, your grief process of writing the music, and it's a personal journey going through it and how it's been healing. What has been the hardest part about that process?
I guess my whole reason for creating this project is noticing my own difficulty in going through grief, and imagining how many other people struggle with grief. You know what I mean? So the part about this project has really been identifying my issue. You know what I mean? Is like, I really hate to lose, but we all hate to lose people, but
right,
like it's like destroys me. It puts me in this like under this cloud that I can't get out of. So I was hoping that this project is a way to help other people, but in a sense, it's in turn helping me get through my own grief.
That's beautiful. to be able to, as we give to others, we're also giving to ourselves in return. And it's such a healing process to be able to talk about things that we've been through, what's going on, and even the grieving process. It's one of those things where it's different for every single person. And it's harder when, actually, I can't even say if it's harder if it's a friend or if it's a loved one. You know, I think because we have so many really strong friendships that can be like a sibling or, you know, and it's just like, we don't want to lose anyone. And I think we can never be prepared losing someone, especially even though we know that they may be terminally ill or, you know, like we kind of have some kind of like sign that it's coming up, like we know it's going to happen, we still know, but I don't think it's ever going to be an easy topic or easy to deal with at all. And going through it and being like, okay, what has helped other than, you know, writing your songs and going through that process? Have you been taking time to be able to just sit back and just go kind of through memories and be like, yeah, we did this together and we did that? Has that been helping too?
I find that the memories become a little painful. So I tend to kind of focus more on just getting through the emotions of it all, rather than thinking about the past when they were here. You know what I mean? So picks up a little pain that I work so hard to kind of like get through. It comes back. It's like, no, I don't.
Like I just got rid of you.
I know.
Back.
And then
I don't want to feel that anymore.
People who experience like, oh yeah, my dad died and then he came and visited me like after he died, or like, oh, my grandma, like I got visions of my grandma or something like that. Like everybody I know has had an experience. Almost everybody I know has had some sort of experience with a loved one who'd passed and like showed up in their dreams or sent them a message of some sort. I'm like, why can't ghosts visit me?
I'm guilty.
My uncle, all these people to come and tell me it's okay. And
so my dad passed away. It has now been, oh my goodness, I think it was about 15 years ago. And it wasn't right away that he came and visited me in my dreams. And it's not like a full-on like conversation. It's like, hey, what's going on? And we weren't sitting there having coffee or anything. Although maybe I should let him know coffee would be nice. Like, don't be so rude. Like, stay for a little bit. But you know, so we had dogs growing up and stuff. And at the time, he had a few dogs. So I've seen him like just walking the dogs, like,
oh wow,
walking along and like maybe kind of just glancing over and then just kind of on his merry way. But it wasn't like, hey, how are you doing? Like it wasn't like that. It was just like, I kind of saw him just walking at the dogs and he kind of went over and just smiled, and he didn't, like I said, he didn't wave or just, it was just a nice gentle smile, and he was happy. I was like, okay, cool. Like he's hanging out with our old dogs and he's chilling in heaven, and he's like, he's at the big dog park in heaven. And I'm like, this is great. So I think it's the interpretation of, how we perceive them in their happiest state here on earth and what they really enjoy. And then that to me, it was my message going, yeah, he's happy and he's in a good state and hey, he's living a good life, And I'm like, okay, cool. So, and that's kind of it. Or it might be like a dream where I see him in the older house that we used to live in and he's just across the room or whatever, but he's happy and he's glowing and he's fine and he's, but there's not per se words that are kind of shared in between things. And again, it wasn't like, it was like bang right away. It was probably a good few years before. And I think and maybe it's different for everyone, but perhaps it's more that we're like not over the grieving process, but I think we have to sit in it for a while and go, okay, like be okay with them that they moved on and that it's a reality, and like, okay, like you hope they're doing good and whatever, but I think we really do have to sit in it and go, okay, so it's hard to be okay with it, but we have to kind of be okay with it. I don't know how else to say it. It's a different, it is what it is. But I think I personally just really wanted to know, like, was he okay? Was he happy? And I think I kind of put it out in the universe. And then it was shortly after that, yeah, I came and visited, and I was like, okay, cool. And I actually, like I said, it's been 15 years, and it's not all the time. It's been a few times. Maybe I'll see him a couple times in a year. Sometimes it's not for a while. And, I haven't actually seen him. Dad, you're due for a visit. So, but I do have a picture of him in my living room. And I think it's just the comfort of him just sort of there watching over and like, hey, how you doing? What's up, homie? So I can look over at his picture and I smile every so often and know he's watching over, right? So, but again, reliving some memories, it can be hard. Oh yeah, because you miss those moments together. But then it's like I don't try and look back on all of the memories and go, oh yeah, I remember this, and that. But I do have family members that I do visit and we'll reminisce even to this very day about some interesting or fun facts that we used to, do growing up, or this or that, or, whatever little stories. And I'm like, oh, that's funny. And now it's because it's been so long, it's not as hard. It's more like, okay, yeah, that's a typical dad move. Like he would do something like that and it's more of a happier moment, but it's not to say it could be like tomorrow I could think of him and then just start bawling. Right. So, yeah. So I agree that it can be difficult to reminisce on those memories and sometimes, but I don't think it's good that we squish it down.
Yeah.
Like you said, we have to uproot it. So maybe uprooting it is a good thing, and maybe you'll get your visit. If you get a visit, let me know. It's like, I saw you on the show. I'm going to come visit you. Be prepared, right? Be happy in your dream to see them, I guess. I don't know. Any other projects you want to share before we wrap up in a few minutes?
This is the major one. I've got a few singles that are coming out throughout the year while I'm working on this, but I'm hoping to have everything finished and ready to go by Halloween of next year and have everything kind of up and started to, soak in.
Move and shake, and it'll be all in there. Can you share one other project, or is it just going to be a few songs?
It's just going to be a few songs, but I do have some kind of loose goals. I call them loose goals because I put a lot on next year. So I'm kind of like, if I move them to the following year, that's okay. But I do have a couple other albums that I'm kind of playing with ideas. I have a couple of them that one is I wanted to bring back my love for 90s country, but I wanted to take some of the songs and kind of redo them like how I would, do them in my genre. But I'm still kind of, because it's so hard to find musicians to, be able to remake those songs in a different genre. It's just like, I might have to hold off on that one until I find other people that might be, motivated for something like that, inspired by something like that, but okay. And I have, on New Year's, I have a single releasing called Carried by Stars. And it's a song that I kind of relate it to the Christmas stuff and everything, although it's not quite focused on grief. It's more focused on astrology and my connection to it. Being a Cancer, I'm super aligned with the planets and the moon. And so it took me almost all of my years that I've been alive to realize that my emotional instability is directly connected to what's happening in the planets. And I know not everybody's like that, but once I found that out and I studied more about astrology and I studied more about how the things connect and what they say about cancers, because everything that they say about cancers is 100% accurate in my emotional progress or digression, or however you want to put it. My emotional stability is completely outlined by and I couldn't deny it. I was like, oh, I'd love to be a skeptic if it's true. Like, okay, like, how do you guys have so much personal information about my brain?
How do you know? You're studying me.
Right. Interesting. No. So I just started getting into it, and I thought it's just such a magical concept, and I started really believing in it because it so accurately describes me in a whole. And so every time I'm feeling kind of uneven and I have a lot of hormonal imbalances at the same time, so that can be a lot of like craziness in my brain that I don't know what's going on. I can just be a psychopath. You know what I'm saying?
And you can get away with it. You're like, I blame it on the stars.
That I know what's going on. I'm able to be like, okay, something's happening. Something's how I could feel the pull. It's almost like I could feel the pull of the moon, or like when it's close and stuff like that. I could feel that in my energy, in my soul, in my emotions. And so as soon as I look it up, it's like, oh, we're in a retrograde. I'm like, oh, of course. How is that? How, of course, like, see, and how can I not believe it?
Right.
You know, so I wrote a song about it, and yeah.
Cool. So all y'all Cancers out there, you listen to that song and you give us some feedback because it's probably true. One of the coolest things you could probably do is do a human design chart, which also digs into a little bit about your gene keys in your body and the goods and bads of how you, like, what things might be blocked inside, whether it's like, could be communication, it could be artistic side, it could be whatever. And it kind of digs into a little bit about how you can unlock those things and be like, more creative per se, or, what is your, like your best place to kind of relax, and what is your good environments. Like it could be like smells, and it could be like, oh, you love a rainy day and it actually brings you really big joy, and it's like you dwell in that and you're like, yes, go. Or it could be, the stars, and it's like you're better when you're in the daytime, in the sun, and the moon is like your enemy, whatever, but it's pretty cool. So if you're into that kind of stuff, definitely check out human design. It's pretty cool to look into. So with that, I think we could probably wrap up. If you guys missed our other little bit in between, because we have Wi-Fi issues, I put up a little bit in between, little filler of our interview from 5 years ago. So it was, again, a little tiny bit on the X Factor stuff. I should have made it forward into the thing, but anyway, that's okay. But Tora, if you want to come back anytime, please let me know whenever you have the new stuff released, or if you want to come on and sing live.
Yeah, I'd love to.
You would definitely be welcome to do that as well. You did last time, so I would love to have you back, and we can do that. Any other releases, by all means, you are more than welcome to come back. And I also know someone who might be able to get you some singing artists down there, and I'll maybe hook you guys up, and you guys can talk and see if you can maybe figure something out. So there's that.
Forgot. I'm so focused on this Christmas song that on the 21st I have the second Christmas song coming out. It's I know. Like,
tell us now. Thank you. By the way,
sad. It's
a Cancer trait.
It's kind of right. Seriously. So I kind of tunnel vision there, but it's just kind of like a little kind of a lighter side to this, but at the same time, it's called Santa in a Suit and Tie. And it's kind of like, well, Santa's coming different this year, and he's coming to clean up the streets. So coming to fighting crime, and
I envisioned a sexy Santa right there, like in a suit. And I was like, tell me more.
Oh my gosh. Well, I'm sure he could be very handsome. He'll be played by my boyfriend in the video. So.
Okay, well, well, he can be our sexy Santa then.
Oh, you're funny.
That'll be cute.
Yeah, I don't have any visuals planned for it yet. I definitely have the ideas, but it's going to be a little harder to pull off. And I don't know if I want to do an AI version to that one. I think I want it to just be the real thing. So
maybe you could put his face into AI and still use it that way. It could be a really sexy Santa. I don't know. I'm not gonna. You guys can play around with that idea. I'm not even going to go there.
Oh, you're funny. Well, I know what you want for Christmas this year.
Yeah. I need Santa. Oh my goodness. This is so bad. Okay, this is getting out of hand now. So with that, we're going to wrap up. Tora, okay, where can everyone find you?
You can find me everywhere at Tora WOLOSHIN. So youtube.com/Tora WOLOSHIN, Instagram at Tora WOLOSHIN, everything. So, and then the music's everywhere, whether you're on Spotify, YouTube, Apple, just type my name in and you'll find it.
Yay! Go like and subscribe her stuff, people. Get out there. Go, 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 go. Right? And then as your new stuff comes out, let me know if you want me. I can put it up on my socials, whatever you want. Just let me know. Tag me and I'll throw it up on my stories or whatever. And everyone else, go and like her stuff. All right. All right. Well, I'm going to let you go, and you can have it's dinner time for you now. So you can go and relax and tell your boyfriend thank you for lending us yourself this evening. We appreciate that. And tell him to embrace the Santa. Have fun with it. Guys, have fun with that. It'll be awesome. So I can't wait to see that for sure. So with that, hope you have a great night. We'll talk soon, okay?
Thank you so much.
You're so welcome. Bye. All right, guys, another Connected with Cari in the books here on Jess FM Underground Radio. See, thank you for hanging out with us and kind of going through the grind as we have our little technical issues. I mean, hey, when you're live, these things happen. Thank you for showing some love to Tora. Again, please go like, subscribe her stuff. Listen to her music. She's actually amazing. I mean, she's really amazing. So with that, make sure you guys have a good evening. Enjoy your weekend. Those in California, stay warm. Have fun in the rain. Enjoy it. We had our snow and our snow's gone. It might be back, so who knows. But with that, I hope you guys have a great rest of your weekend. And above all, make sure you guys stay connected. Good night.